The National Invitation Tournament Championship takes place between Lipsomb and Texas on April 4 at 6 p.m. CST. We take a deep dive into two of the better prospects playing in tonight's matchup. Kerwin Roach II, 6'4", junior, Texas. Kerwin Roach is an incredible athlete, and not in just the traditional ho-hum. He's fast and can jump sort of high. Roach can run very, very fast and jump insanely high. He actually won Texas high school back-to-back state triple jump gold medals, including a jump of 50 feet, 6.25 inches as a senior per ESPN. He has been great for the Longhorns throughout the NIT, getting to the free throw line 15 times in a win over Xavier and putting up 22 points on 64.3% shooting in a win over TCU on Tuesday. The 6'4" Roach is not a traditional PG, and despite all of that explosive athleticism, his average wingspan makes it tough to play him huge minutes at the two-guard spot in the NBA. But similar to Boston Celtics backup guard Terry Rozier, Roach can carve out a great NBA role if he can continue to knock the three-point shot while also generating turnovers on defense and limiting his own turnovers on offense. Over 4 years at Texas, Roach knocked down 34.1% of his three-pointers. This season, he shot 35.6% from three-point range on a career-high 4.9 attempts per game. The fact that he hit a solid percentage from three-point range while increasing his volume of attempts bodes well for his NBA future. But similar to my favorite, and seemingly, Kendall Gill's least favorite, NBA prospect, RJ Barrett, Roach's ghastly free throw percentage, 68.3% in 18-19, means that his solid numbers from deep could be all smoke and mirrors. Something that is not smoke and mirrors, however, is his ability to attack off the bounce. Roach's incredible speed in the open floor combined with his leaping ability make him a handful for opposing defenses in transition. In the 2018-19 season, out of the 92 shots he has made at the rim, only 7 of them have been assisted. I have no doubts that he will be able to attack the rim well at the NBA level. Roach has the body control and creative shot-making ability to get into the chest of much bigger shot blockers, a must for a guard who attacks the rim as much as he does. But again, his playing style generates many personal fouls, which are all for naught if he doesn't clean up his shooting at the foul line. Despite being a streaky shooter, Roach always gives maximum effort on the floor. And he also has the unique distinction of a hyper-athletic, high-energy player who actually doesn't commit a catastrophic amount of turnovers. For his career he is hair under 3.0 assists per game, and much of those assists came while playing next to a more traditional playmaking guard. In 2019 NBA draft class, Roach is likely a second-round pick. And with the Bulls still searching for answers at point guard, he could be an excellent fit. His great motor and physicality enables him to match up with bigger guards. And the various rosters he played with over his 4 years at Texas have made him comfortable in a multiple ball handler offense. He would be able to space the floor around Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen and pick and rolls, but Roach would also be a capable scoring option in bench units when the core players rest. The athletic profile means Roach almost certainly will be in the NBA soon, but the question of whether or not the shooting is real is a question that scouts will be trying to answer right up until draft day. Thursday's NIT Championship versus Lipsomb will be his final chance to help provide some answers. Garrison Mathews, 6'5", senior, Lipsomb. Mathews is a 4-year player from the very small Lipsomb University in Nashville, Tennessee. And this season he was the Atlantic Sun Conference Player of the Year with averages of 21.1 points, 5.4 rebounds and 2.0 assists per game. He has decent height to play the league but figures to struggle on the defensive side of the floor. Mathews has the vertical leap to contest shots well, but lacks the foot speed to stay in front of the more capable slashers at the NBA level. But, alas, Mathews has the one elite skill that all 30 NBA teams could use, shooting. He came into college basketball as a solid shooter and has increased his three-point percentage every season. In 2018-19, Mathews is shooting an elite 40.6% from three-point range on 8.1 attempts per game. The fact that Mathews can heat up from three-point range is only made more interesting by the fact that he is getting to the free throw line 6 times a game this season, a very high figure for a player whose primary weapon is their jump shot. His varied scoring ability has led to an awesome 33.6 PPG over his last 3 games. At Lipsomb, head coach Casey Alexander runs lots of great actions with Mathews coming off of pin-down screens and cross screens to get him into the paint. Once in the lane, Mathews actually possesses a solid post game for a wing. From the post, Mathews can get to a fadeaway jumper with soft touch, or he can pump fake his defender into oblivion, freeing up himself for a wide-open layup. And of course, if nothing is there, he willingly kicks the ball out to the perimeter to reset the offense. This makes life easier for everyone on the floor for Lipsomb, as Mathews is a high IQ player who for his career, only averages 2.0 turnovers per game. At the end of the day, Mathews' best chance of getting drafted is going as a late-round flyer to one of the more three-point reliant teams in the league such as the Jazz, Raptors or Hornets. But the more likely scenario is that Mathews joins an NBA team for the Las Vegas Summer League and makes a great impression there to get invited to training camp. With his leadership skills and versatile scoring ability, something tells me we will hear from Mathews in the NBA at some point, even if it takes a while for him to truly stick in the league. Walt Lemon Jr. has inserted himself into the 3rd or 4th PG on the roster conversation. Chicago native Walt Lemon was overjoyed with his chance to play for his hometown team and has certainly made the most of his extended run so far. He plays a very high-energy brand of basketball and has all of the shiftiness and craft that you would expect out of a Chicago guard when it comes to attacking the basket. Walter Lemon Jr. LemonPick.twitter.com/G1NZ31LH3 Gustavo Vega @IamVega1982 April 3, 2019. Do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago Bulls lead. Stream here, https://t.co/ltalk8kid5ypic.twitter.com/psychefago, Bulls Talk @NBCS Bulls, April 4, 2019. Saying he has a chance to be the main backup PG for the Bulls would likely be unrealistic, but the fact that Lemon sticks to his strengths gives him a solid chance to be welcomed back next season, whether it be starting in the G League with Windy City or with the Bulls at the NBA level. Lemon had 24 points, 3 rebounds and 8 assists in the close win over the Wizards on Wednesday night. He didn't attempt a single three-pointer on the evening, and has only attempted 1 three-pointer over his 3 NBA games with the Bulls this season. But when you are shooting over 70% from the field on mostly floaters and tough ISO jumpers, coach won't complain too much about you not taking three-point shots, especially Jim Boylan. The main issue, of course, is Lemon, who shot a solid 48.8% while making the 2018-19 All-G League second team, is obviously not going to shoot it with that type of efficiency were he to play a full NBA season. That being said, even without a solid three-point shot, the fact that Lemon is so good as a drive and kick player makes him worth an extended look. He played with great confidence in helping the Bulls close out the win, getting to the free throw line with an aggressive move and knocking down the 2 ensuing free throws to seal the victory. Raul Alkins' development is coming along nicely. Alkins was a college teammate of Lauri Markkanen at Arizona, and is still a young, 21-year-old prospect worth developing, especially considering the lack of solid wing defenders on the current Bulls roster. He finished with a 3+- rating in his 26-minute stint and actually was fairly aggressive by his standards from the three-point line. Alkins was a decent shooter from distance at the college level but shot 30.7% from three-point range over his 44 games in with the Windy City Bulls this season. On Wednesday night against the Wizards, Alkins shot 1/4 from the three-point line but definitely looked comfortable in catch-and-shoot situations. He is an athletic defender who gives great all-around effort, as showcased by his 11.5 rebound, 3 assist effort against Washington. Alkin's summer workout plan should consist of shooting a ton of jump shots and some moderate work on tightening up his ball handling skills. He should be back next season as a two-way player, especially considering that he was a key cog in Windy City's inaugural NBA G League playoff run. For Alkins, some nice jump shooting percentages is the main thing to look for down the stretch, simply to help him go into the offseason with some confidence. Jakar Sampson is very athletic and should probably be in the NBA. Sampson has played at least 15 minutes per game in every other NBA stint he has had up to this point, and was one of the few players on this year's Windy City Bulls team with considerable experience at the NBA level. He has received roughly 30 minutes per game in his brief time as a Bull, and his explosiveness, especially around the rim, has been a good enough reason for him to stick in the NBA. He was not much of a three-point shooter at any point during his college career, but over his 4 seasons in the NBA G League, Sampson has explored his efficiency from three-point range with mildly positive results. Still not a perimeter shooter by any means, it was very encouraging to see him knock down 2 halves from three-point range on Wednesday night. There won't be many, if any more at all, games where Sampson shoots perfect from deep, but trying to keep defenses honest from the three-point line will help his chances of sticking in the league as a small ball center. The lack of a dependable jumper makes it hard to project him as a solid NBA PF. But Sampson's athleticism and energy on the boards make him intriguing in today's league, especially when there is little else needed front centers outside of some average to great rim protection and the ability to function as a great rim runner. On this edition of the Bulls Talk podcast, Mark Shanowski, Kendall Gill and Will Perdue discuss the point guard situation for next year. What's next for Ryan Arcidiacono? 0:45, is there room on the roster for Shaq Harrison? 2:30, and why next year is a make-it-or-break-it year for Denzel Valentine? 3 o'clock. The guys look at some potential second-round picks for the Bulls. 4:30, and is Carson Edwards' size holding him back? 5:20. The guys give their picks to win the NCAA title. 11 o'clock, and Kendall explains why he's not impressed with RJ Barrett. 1300. Plus a proposal to avoid tanking and make late games more interesting for lottery teams. 1600. The guys also give their picks for MVP. 1930, and discuss whether the Warriors are preparing for another title run. 2200. Listen to the full episode in the embedded player below. Bulls Talk Podcast. Subscribe.